the thing.
No, speaking of the baby, I can just tell you, I was irate over the weekend. He was rambling. It was one of the lowest points, I think, for him. But it made me so sadly grateful that my child is too young to understand what's going on in this country. That I don't have to explain to her why our president is spending his time over the weekend tweeting this nonsense. I don't have to explain that to her, but how many parents out there do? How many families like yours have to go through this crap? Well, it really is sad.
He did tweet against John McCain, who passed away, unfortunately, not that long ago. It's a kind of a pathetic statement on his part, because when John McCain was getting the Silver Star, Trump was at his doctor's trying to get out of the draft with these alleged bone spurs. So let's start there. Right. And then on top of that...
About privilege.
Yeah. And on top of that, Lindsey Graham, I have a bone to pick with him. Because Lindsey Graham, I know he's your godfather or something.
No, you take all of this, Joy.
Lindsey Graham was John McCain's best friend, according to...
Joe Lieberman is.
Yeah. And Joe Lieberman, number one. Lindsey, number two. Would we say that's about right?
3, 4. Yeah.
Okay.
He was in the room.
Well, they were buds. They were bros. They were buds.
But go ahead.
And Lindsey, what he wrote is, as for John McCain and his devotion to his country, he stepped forward to risk his life for his country, true. Served honorably under difficult circumstances, true. And was one of, not just difficult, I mean, they tortured John McCain, and was one of the most consequential senators in the history of the body. Nothing about his service will ever be changed or diminished. He does not say the president is out of line. He doesn't say that it is a ridiculous thing to go after John McCain at this point. He does not say what you just said, which is that there are lies in the tweet.
Yes.
And I think that Lindsey Graham is making a huge error right now in believing that this man will ever back him up. Because Lindsey is crawling to the president so that he can get reelected, and Trump is acting like a sadist towards Lindsey Graham, putting him between a rock and a hard place and saying, okay, bow to me even more now. Because what is Lindsey going to do? He wants to get reelected. He needs to find his testicularity now.
Yeah.
And go for it. That's what I have to say to Lindsey Graham.
You know, I think that you handled yourself this weekend with so much class. And I really appreciated that, because you and I are very similar in the sense that I know people think we're different, but we're not that different, because if you come for one of mine, you're dead to me, and I'm coming after you. But I try to handle things with class and dignity. And the way this president is acting is so pathetic and beneath the dignity of this office that it was so offensive to me what he said about your father. But you responded and said, no one will ever love you the way they loved my father. I wish I had been given more Saturdays with him. Maybe spend yours with your family instead of on Twitter obsessing over mine. And I thought, Sonny, that's how you do this.
Except nobody in his family wants to spend time with him. That's the only problem.
Well, I appreciate it with all. It's uncomfortable for everyone because it's obviously about my father, and I'm your co-host, and I really appreciate these wonderful words. Listen, he spends his weekend obsessing over great men because he knows it, and I know it, and all of you know it. He will never be a great man.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And so my father was his kryptonite in life.
Yeah.
He's his kryptonite in death. On a personal level, I agree with you. All of us have love and families, and when my father was alive up until adulthood, we would spend our time together cooking, hiking, fishing, really celebrating life, and I think it's because he almost died. And I just thought, your life is spent on your weekends, not with your family, not with your friends, but obsessing over great men you could never live up to.
Yeah.
That tells you everything you need to know about his pathetic life right now.
And I mean, the fact...
I genuinely feel bad for his family. I can't imagine having a father that does this on the weekends.
Oh, they're all on the same page. Don't feel sorry for them.
Well, I like to, you know, Tiffany's a great kid.
By all means, take the floor.
I just, what really kind of knocked me out is how do you not recognize a rerun on TV that has sort of Christmassy stuff in it? And you know, one would think you watch this enough to recognize when you say this was on the last time, oh, they're trying to trick me. No, you buy into it. See, this is why I can't listen to anything you're saying. You don't know rerun when you see it, especially when it's about you, and you know you watch them.
So pathetic.
You know you watch these shows. So, sir, you know, get out the way so that people who actually love the country can do what they need to do. We'll be right back.